Tragic turn. Marek suffers a heart attack. Amy Roloff's tears and family struggle. Life can change in an instant. For the Roloff family, who have spent years in the public eye through Little People, Big World, that reality struck with terrifying force when Marek, husband of matriarch Amy Roloff, suddenly suffered a heart attack. The event sent shockwaves not just through Amy's world, but also across the extended Roloff family and the fans who have followed their journey for nearly 2 decades. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. This is the heartbreaking story of what unfolded, how Amy coped with the unimaginable fear of losing her husband, and how the Roloffs came together, fractured as they may be, during one of the most tragic and vulnerable chapters of their lives. A normal day turns dark. It had started like any other late summer day in Oregon. The sun was warm, the farm fields golden with a nearing harvest, and Amy Roloff was busy balancing her usual whirlwind of tasks. She and Chris had just returned from a small camping trip, something they both cherished. Chris was laughing, talking about how much fun we had. Amy later shared through tears. He said he was feeling a little tired, but nothing unusual. Then it all happened so fast. Chris, 62, was sitting at the kitchen table sipping coffee when he suddenly clutched his chest. His face twisted in pain, and before Amy could process what was happening, he collapsed to the floor. I screamed his name. I thought maybe he had fainted, Amy recalled. But when he didn't answer, I knew it was something terrible. Amy dialed 911 with shaking hands, her voice frantic as she begged for help. They raced to the hospital. The paramedics arrived within minutes, but to Amy it felt like hours. They began working on Chris immediately, stabilizing him for transport. Amy sat frozen, her hands trembling, tears streaming down her face as she watched the love of her life being wheeled out on a stretcher. "Stay with me, Chris. Please stay with me," she whispered, running alongside the gurney until the paramedics urged her back. The ambulance sirens wailed as they rushed him to the hospital. Amy followed in her car, barely able to see the road through her tears. In that moment, nothing else mattered. Not the family tensions, not the years of TV cameras, not the lingering wounds from her divorce with Matt. The only thing she cared about was whether her husband would survive. The waiting room. Hospitals have a way of making time stand still. Amy sat in the sterile waiting room, clutching her phone and praying silently. Every time a nurse walked by, her heart leapt, hoping for news. She called her children, her voice breaking. "Zach, it's your stepdad. He had a heart attack. They don't know if he's going to make it," she sobbed. Within an hour, Zach and Tori arrived, followed by Jeremy and Audrey. Even Molly and Jacob, usually private and away from the spotlight, rushed to be by their mother's side. Amy was inconsolable, a family friend shared. She kept saying she couldn't lose him, not after finally finding love again. Memories and fears. As the hours stretched on, Amy's mind replayed her life with Chris. Their first date on a motorcycle ride. Their engagement at the farm. Their wedding, filled with joy and new beginnings. "He's my rock," Amy whispered to Tori. "I can't imagine life without him." The fear of losing Chris brought back the old scars of her divorce from Matt Roloff. Amy had built a new life, a new home, a new love. She thought she had finally found peace. But now, in a sterile hospital waiting room, it all felt like it could slip away in a heartbeat. The surgery. Doctors emerged after what felt like an eternity. Chris had suffered a significant heart attack, and they had rushed him into emergency surgery to clear a blocked artery. "He's stable for now, but the next 24 hours are critical," the doctor explained. Amy collapsed into her chair, her body shaking with sobs. She clutched Zach's hand, then Jeremy's, the old family fractures momentarily forgotten in the face of crisis. "We're all here for you, Mom," Zach said softly. Family reunited in crisis. The Roloff family, often divided over farm disputes and personal differences, found themselves sitting together again. Matt Roloff even made an appearance, his face solemn as he hugged Amy. "I know we've had our differences," Matt told her quietly, "but Chris is a good man. I'm praying for him." For Amy, seeing Matt there was bittersweet, but she was grateful for the support. In that moment, it didn't matter what had happened in the past, she later admitted. We were just people, scared of losing someone we love. Through the night, Amy refused to leave the hospital. She sat by Chris's bedside once he was moved to the ICU, holding his hand, whispering prayers, and crying softly. I told him I loved him 100 times, she said. I wanted him to hear me, to know I was there. The night was long, filled with the rhythmic beeping of machines and the hum of nurses' footsteps. Every twitch, every change on the monitor sent Amy's heart racing. A community of support. News of Chris's condition spread quickly. Fans of Little People, Big World flooded social media with prayers and messages of support. Friends delivered food and flowers to Amy's home. The Roloff family farm staff offered to handle everything so Amy could stay at the hospital. It was overwhelming, but also comforting, Amy said. To know so many people were lifting us up. The turning point. By the following afternoon, Chris showed signs of improvement. His heart stabilized, and though he remained weak, doctors were cautiously optimistic. When Chris finally opened his eyes, Amy broke down in tears. You scare me to death, she whispered, clutching his hand. Chris, his voice raspy, managed a small smile. Guess I'm tougher than I look. Healing together. The road to recovery was long, but Chris's survival was a blessing. For Amy, the experience reshaped everything. I realized how fragile life is, she said, and how deeply I love this man. The Roloff children continued to visit, helping their mom around the house, bringing the grandchildren to brighten Chris's days. Even Matt checked in from time to time, a reminder that in tragedy, old wounds can soften. Conclusion. Chris Marek's heart attack was a terrifying chapter for the Roloff family, but it also became a story of resilience, love, and the power of family unity in crisis. Amy's tears, her heartbreak, and her unwavering devotion to Chris reminded fans why they have always connected with her. She is real, vulnerable, and deeply human. I don't take a single day for granted anymore, Amy said quietly. Every morning I wake up and see Chris next to me. I thank God he's still here.